Dead. There we go. All right, all right, all right. Hey guys, we are going to be doing a little bit of coaching here. It's going to be Protoss versus Zerg. We are going to be coaching Mental Math, our Protoss player. He's a Diamond 2 Protoss player. We're talking about how to defend Ling Flood all-ins. He says this is his biggest problem right now. It's our first ever coaching session. He said, look, if there's one thing I definitely want to get out of today, it's helping defend this. I think this is something which a lot of people need help with. So I've said, look, first of all, we've got your opponent to do some form of Ling Flood. I've told the Zerg here, Mr. Papi Chulo, I've said, look, elevator in the back and flood the front if you can, or at least do a Ling Flood. Keep building Zerglings. Don't relent. Do it really brain dead. Don't drone behind it. Make sure you do it off somewhere between 16 to 25 drones. And this is the main sort of region you're going to have most of your Zergling Flood all-ins. There are slight differences in how you need to respond to each one, but this is going to help us out. So let's talk about this. Now, while I watch him, of course, we want to talk about the wall off and the kind of build order. Build order looks pretty good so far. Looks like a standard build. So standard build. Let's check that wall off. Don't like that pylon positioning too much, but it's not the end of the world. Can wall off with a third structure here. And yeah, that should be pretty solid. He can always wall off with a single shield battery. So you know what? Not too bad. I'm not going to be too critical of that. That should be totally fine. Yeah. All right. So standard build. Now, he did chrono the adept, right?
Glory to
He's
the
going straight to Stargate. I really need that warp gate. Really need that warp gate. Okay, so what we want to do, let's put 3 on gas. Faster. So our warp gate isn't so delayed.
The firstborn shall persevere.
And he really needs to scout the natural. So what he's not doing here, first adept needs to go immediately to scout enemy natural. Less than 8 drones equals all in. Now he saw all the Zerglings, so he also saw everything he needs to know. Less than 8 drones equals all in. So what do we need to do, guys? What's the reaction if you spot the all in?
Base, you know.
He should have those adepts behind the wall, and he should be fully walled in with a shield battery. Shield battery to complete wall off. Adepts on the inside. See, this is why are we walling off after? Why? Oh, he's not walling off. He has. Number one mistake. People just don't think about how to wall off. They just don't have a formula for it. And this is why I have been making a lot of fun of Protoss players dying to this, guys. Because he scouted, he had all the information he needed, and he still dies. This is a point where we all as Protoss players, myself included on the ladder, we have a choice of accepting responsibility, saying, I could have just put a building there. Or we have a cry about it, and we go to the forums and start complaining, which seems to be 90% of people's choice. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. It's been so many Protoss players.
I'm sorry, man.
So, by the end of this, we're going to see it's pretty simple to hold this. All right, GG. Well played. So, what do you think was the biggest mistake there?
I read it as a drop because usually when I see gas first, I get like paranoid that I'm going to face a drop. So, I wasn't ready for the Ling Flood, and I didn't have my wall, which is usually what happens when I lose these kind of games, is my wall just falls apart real quick, and then I panic, and I can't put it back together, and that's like exactly what happened right there.
All right, so first thing we're picking up on there is you said when you see gas first, is in like hatch, then a gas, then a spawning pool?
Right, yeah.
All right, so that means nothing. We don't want to read into that at all, okay? Hatch gas pool is the most standard build ever, so we don't want to be reading into this. All you've seen, as far as you know at the beginning there, is this is a completely normal build order. You can never, ever tell if your opponent's going to Ling drop or not, okay? You can't tell at all. And the thing is, it's not that scary once we get down the standard response. We don't need that information. There is only one piece of information you need as a Protoss player, and that is he going for the all-in or not? What do you need to do is you need to scout the natural mineral line. You saw a ton of Zerglings there. You didn't quite get the shade in the mineral line, but normally you want to go straight to that mineral line. Now, he came out and started fighting your adept. Already a big tell. And
Right.
honestly, you could probably just say, if someone just comes out and fights my adept, since those are free Zergling kills, this usually means he's going to all in. And you could probably just
Right,
make that read and react. but we want to be a little bit, we want to be 100%, right? We don't want to be 90%. And you did a good job of keeping the Adept alive. Just get the Adept into that natural mineral line, and then 100%. Because you knew when you saw those Zerglings that it was an all-in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So we saw it was an all-in. Your reaction, you put a pylon trying to spot for the drop. Completely unnecessary. We don't have a mothership core anymore. No need for a pylon in there. You can send a probe if you want to patrol your main base to spot the drop. But the most important thing by far is simply pull your Adepts behind your wall and wall off completely. That's it. Build a shield battery there blocking your wall off. If you've got a bit of an awkward wall off, you might need to build 2 shield batteries to fully block it. You do that and your wall is so solid. And then it's very simple from there. Because all you need to do... So, by the way, check out your document. I'm writing it down there. So we've got, okay, PvZ, you've done a standard build. By the way, I've got 3 different subheaders. One is your build. I was looking at your build and I was like, oh, good execution. You're making the same mistake I'm making, which is not putting on gas fast enough. So we want to put guys on gas just a little bit faster. I'm not sure of the exact timing. I just follow the rule, or what I've been trying to tell myself to follow the rule is 15 dudes on minerals, then put on gas, basically. So
Okay.
15 on minerals, then saturate gas. So that's just a small tweak, which is going to allow you to get a faster warp gate research, because you're delaying that a bit too long here. Because we're trying to get out the Adepts and the fast Stargate, which is normal, which is correct. A tiny bit more gas there gives us like a 10-15 second faster warp gate. Can often make the difference between us losing the cyber core before warp gate finishes and us keeping it up. So
Right. That happens to me all the time too, is I lose it like right before warp gate finishes.
exactly. And sometimes even if it's just like, even if you're going to lose it, just getting a few more Adepts queued up or Adepts started before it dies, like it just makes a world of difference. So also, of course, faster Stargate, faster Adepts, all that stuff is great. So 15 drones on minerals, probes, and then we saturate the gas, and then we just go back. So it's a very slight adjustment. It's basically just one dude mining gas. It gives us maybe 20 more gas, 24 more gas, something like that, by the time we're actually putting down the structures, which is significant. Next thing, first Adept needs to go immediately discount the enemy natural. Awesome. That's what you did. You were slightly delayed because those Zerglings forced you to micro. But like we said, in that scenario, if you can't get the info because you're too busy trying to dodge these Zerglings that are surrounding you, really simple. You just kind of go, okay, just react as if it's an all-in. Shield battery blocking is what we've written. Adepts on the inside. Now, not just that. You know what I'm going to say? Let's just say Adepts to the main base. Now, if they're not dropping, technically you want to not have them in the main. Let's just assume they're dropping. Let's have like 1 perfected standard response. So 2 Adepts to the main base. If you have 2 Adepts under the Dropper Lord before it starts dropping, it'll do nothing. Won't kill a single Adept, okay? And that allows your Oracle and other units popping out to defend the natural. 2 Adepts to the main base. Everything else to the natural. Be patient with turning your Oracle on. Don't turn it on for just a few lings. So your Oracle just sits there. Remember those 2 Adepts just shuts down the drop. That's the number one thing people struggle with. They're like, there's a drop and that gets out of control. That's what forces you to make mistakes. Be patient with turning your Oracle on. And the last point is go full Trump. So if they're full committing, just like build a wall, build another wall behind it, build another wall and pretend that's going to solve all your issues. Unlike in real life, this will solve all our issues in StarCraft. So go full Trump and be obsessed with walls. Just keep on walling. I had like a really funny game actually, like last week, where I built like 6 layers of wall. And the guy just kept going, like never built workers. And the thing is, if you don't keep walling, if you underestimate it, you can still die. But that's awesome. That's the key points. So let's host up the next game. Let's hop back in game. Let's take a look at that. We're gonna go in. So realistically, even if you forget the Adepts, even if you don't put the guy on gas slightly faster, even if you don't make all these minor tweaks. Like, these tweaks are what I would expect from a pro gamer, right? If I'm coaching someone who's a semi-pro right now, I'd give them this exact same list, and I'd just be I'd be like, you need to do all this. For you, literally, it's like, just scout the natural. There's not a lot of drones there. Pull your Adepts inside the wall, build a shield battery. That is 90% of the battle right there. If you can, the shield battery walling off the front, complete walled off, pull the Adepts on the inside, everything is 1,000 times easier from there. So if we forget everything else, let's just focus on those 2 points. The other stuff can kind of sit in the back of your head if you do it. Bonus points. It's not important for this game though. So same sort of build. Can be slightly different drones if you want. Up to you. Elevator if you want. Go. Let's just check he's good. And we will dive into the next game. Go. think he's good. Let's see. He's messaging the party. He says go, go. Fantastic. All right, let's go. So we're going to dive into the next game. Like I said, only 2 things you got to focus on. Adept straight to the enemy natural. Scout the work account, number 1. Well, as soon as you spot that they're going for something all in, pull your adepts to the inside of your wall. If you have to lock the scout out, you usually do. That's fine. Just wall off with a shield battery and you're good to go. So scout with the adept. Once we see what's happening, let's wall off. Good luck, have fun, man.
Thank you.
Am I talking fast enough and trying to overwhelm his brain with information? Yes, I am, guys watching. A little bit too much, right? A little bit too. I'm gonna slow it down after this game, all right? In terms of my explanations, let's give him time to absorb. Give him time to absorb and digest the information, and let's try and engage him. Next little explanation, I want him to problem solve a little bit. I want to ask him some more questions, get him to kind of reason out so that he's actually learning. Because the more he's talking, the more he's learning. That's kind of something you should always remember when teaching someone anything. A lot of people are so focused on themselves explaining something technically correct, but that's really extraneous. It's like not the most important thing. The more important thing is to engage someone and motivate them. If you can engage and motivate, then they'll kind of problem solve and learn on their own. Hashtag build the wall, make America great again. Nice. Did I just bring StarCraft 2 general chat into my own Twitch chat? Fantastic. Made a joke about Trump. Now people are going to be arguing about walls for the next 45 minutes. Isn't that great? Please post this clip on YouTube. Absolutely going to be doing that, Pyro. Absolutely. That's the plan. I was like, dude, there's so many pros players asking about this. I've been giving a lot of answers on stream, giving like the cliff notes. I'm like, you got to scout their natural, and then you got to wall off and pull your adepts inside. So I've been, I think, educating a lot of people that happen onto the stream, but having a resource we can just point people towards is going to be fantastic. So he's fucked up his wall. Let me put this up. So you're doing really good. You're doing very nice with the gas and everything. Just a small point, so you don't get thrown off later on, is that your wall off will need 2 shield batteries in kind of slightly awkward positions. That's fine. Even if your wall looks ugly, that's fine. Don't stress over it. It's more important to just get the wall off up fully when it comes to that point, rather than being like, oh, this is ugly. So just be decisive. Everything's on point. Keep it up. You're going to chrono that adept in a little while, get the scout, and then go for that wall off once we realize what's happening. Keep it up, man. Auto mod catches certain things that seem douchebaggy, Captain Schmacker. Extra pylon immediately! Extra pylon immediately! Where's the extra pylon? Why is he not putting extra pylon? Oh, he doesn't have money? Alright, he didn't react to the fact that this was a gas pool. I wasn't paying attention either, to be honest. That was my bad. That's actually like totally my bad. So yeah, Stargate should go in the wall against this as well. It's a good point. So small little adjustment we'll have to talk about there. That's fine. I was so focused on the wall in and not panicking about that. Got distracted. Should have told him about this. That's fine. So we've got a nice little adjustment here, which is great. So reversing gas pool. Scout if they're banking lava. And pool finishes. If they are, you need to prepare for a 6 Ling run by. So how do we do that, guys? It's going to be Stargate in the wall, probe in the wall, and pulley wall off with temporary shield battery whilst waiting for it down.
Better luck next time.
GG's, bad luck there. So something I didn't point out, I was so busy talking about that wall, and unfortunately that wall kind of screwed you. That pylon, always try to make sure that pylon's like a little bit further back, is you do need to build your Stargate in the wall against a gas pool opening. Even though it's a bit exposed, it's totally fine. More important to get the wall up, and you leave your probe in the little gap that you'll have left over, and then you can just put down a pylon to or shield battery to temporarily block the units coming in, and that's going to buy you the time. Because if that adept gets out without the zerglings kind of being on top of it, your adept clears the zerglings, you've got your wall up and you're fine, right? This is a more aggressive opening from your opponent. So something in general, which you can do, but especially against these builds, is leave your scouting probe at your opponent's third or hidden on the map. So what we can Yeah, especially like against gas pool, you want to scout a couple of things. Now you don't always need to build this target in the wall. You don't always need to do this. So it depends. Maybe you just say, look, every game I go gas pool, I build the Stargate in the wall and I leave my probe on hold position so the Zerglings can't get in. Buys time for my Adept, right? I wall off if I have to, okay? I think that's probably the simple way to solve this issue, because I was writing down your document like, okay, scout if they're banking lava. When their pool's finished, you see, 3 lava turn into eggs. As soon as the pool finishes, you know he's building 6 Zerglings, right? And I was going to be like, yeah, so then you need to react with this. And I'm like, you know what, Pig, this is something even you will forget to do sometimes. Many GM players would. So I'm like, let's simplify that because it leads us to the same position anyway, right? It's easy to like overcomplicate our game plan. Let's keep it simple. You see gas pool, Stargate in the wall off, leave your probe on hold position in the wall. You'll be fine. Another general thing is we want to try and always leave our probe hidden on the map. So against the gas pool. So versus gas pool, you need to prepare for the 6 Ling run by, Stargate in the wall, and probe in the wall as well. Fully wall if needed. The other thing is hide your probe because your Adept isn't going to be able to get much of a scout off versus a gas pool. Your Adept needs to stay at home. If they're aggressive like that, how do you confirm if it's an all-in or not? You can't. So that's why you hide your probe at their fourth. And you want to scout, let's say 3 minutes 20. Try to get into their natural. So that's going to see, does he have a third base yet? No. And if you get in the natural, even if you die, you're like, well, that's a bunch of Lings flooding out. That's fine. Then you can just, wall off. Even if your Adept gets trapped in the wall, get the full wall off up, get your Stargate out, your Oracle out, and it's kind of the same order. So he's changed up what he did there, and that's it. There's lots of different little adjustments. Let's just focus on our standard game plan. And we should be good. All right, let's do it. Let's go into one more game here.
Let's go.
Awesome. So this is actually really good. Normally when you're practicing against this, and this is I think why a lot of people get demotivated, is because the best thing against these sort of cheeses, those little technical things you want to adjust, is same for every race. Every race has these like really technical cheeses. You just need to like really kind of practice the same set of reactions a few times. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of lose a bunch of games. Last time I was practicing with an Adept opening against these sort of all-ins, I lost like 5 games in a row until I started getting on top of it. Because it's just details, right? It's just these small details. As long as you view it as practice, we can kind of kick some butt. So just get into your build order and let's solve this. Good luck, have fun. Yeah, I mean, I needed to give him information there. I should have definitely engaged him to get him talking a bit, but there's so much active problem solving going in for me as well. So we'll save it till the next one, guys. That one ended a lot quicker and a lot more suddenly than I expected. I wasn't expecting such a brutal assault from the Zerg player. Where's the chrono? Did he not drop a chrono? It's a little bit late on that. Let's keep an eye on that. See if that's a habit. Oh. Okay, so he's seen our hatch first, so this is just a normal build. I told him not to worry about the gas first. Let's put one extra guy on gas. We don't need to stare at our probe too much. We've seen hatch gas pools, so that's totally fine. You're doing really well. Keep it up. So we're making him get his gas mining slightly faster. Very important, as I mentioned before. Wow, what the... Did he just... He's going to change that rally point. He's used to rallying onto gas at that point of his builds. That does change his build slightly. But he's adapting well. He's adapting really well. Yeah, I'll turn his mic down. I'll turn his mic down again. Sorry, guys. There we go. So you won't be able to hear him as much. Okay, so, yep, standard build order. He's going to chrono the Adept out in a few seconds. Pylons finishing right on time. He's actually very precise with his opening build order, which I'm very impressed by. Don't like that Stargate positioning. Would much rather there be a gap there. He's focusing on his probe way too much. Let's get that warp gate research. So that's the advantage of the bonus gas, is we can get that and still get the second adept on time. Doing really good, man. So remember, all we're focusing on is scouting as quickly as possible with that adept, and then trying to get that nice wall off up. Doing really well so far. Keep it up. Alright, alright, alright. Alright, so he's getting a second gateway. No, why are we doing that so early? Does he always get his second gateway that
The
fast?
firstborn shall persevere.
Okay, he's gonna do it this way. That can work. And that's it's a decent drone count. So we're not sure it's an all-in. Let's send another adept shade and then run the adept home. So let's send the shade in to scout the natural. Your adept can go home. And now we go. Okay, that looks really nasty. Okay, let's pull the adepts behind the wall. Let's wall in. And let's send 2 adepts into the main, and we'll be good.
Your probes are getting wrecked. Caramello says, no, you fucking don't, mate. He claws and kicks, but gets his head slammed into the highway. Thankfully, koalas are already fucking brain damaged, so this isn't even a problem.
My apologies, guys. Didn't realize we had double alerts on. We'll fix that in just a moment after this game. Thank you very much, Majestic Boulevard, for Twitch Prime sub. So I told him to be careful with the Oracle. No reason to commit just there. Waste of energy. Big waste of energy for no reason. He didn't send 2 adepts into the main, which is definitely a problem. Once again, turning the Oracle on for no reason.
Perceiving.
Keep walling off.
Glory to the day.
He's so slow on the Warlocks. Come on, immediately. Get your units inside. Get your units inside and re-wall. And you still haven't checked for a drop. You're meant to leave. So let's morph two gateways into warp gates. Send 2 adepts into the main base to defend against the potential drop. And just keep warping in adepts at the front. Keep building more gateways in your main base. Keep building probes. You know, add maybe whatever your tech is, whether it's Robo and Twilight, whatever your next tech is. And just keep doing this. You're doing really well, mate. Keep it up.
Your probes are under attack.
That's not a wall. That's alright, you can still handle this. Keep warping in adepts, keep making more units.
Under attack, man.
You can handle this. So he wasn't standing under the Overlord, so we let that unload, which is a big problem there. Does he not have build grid on? I think he might not have build grid on. Because his building placement has been so slow. And even those guys aren't actually in the choke point. It's just funny because like the number of mistakes you can actually get away with is quite high. But there we go. There we go. He's got it. He's got it. And the thing is, guys, I've watched 1,000 games where I'm doing the same thing. It's so... The problem here isn't that Mental Math is a bad player. The problem is he hasn't practiced this defense, number 1. And number 2, he's panicking like a fucking crazy person right now. He's just like, ah, there's fucking stuff coming at me! He didn't rebuild his cyber core, which he should have started before the other one died, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work. And that's the thing, is there's so many degrees of fuck up that you can have and still hold on against these all-ins. And this is, by the way, 16 kill adept. How awesome is that? This is why I'm kind of always really critical of these players who keep whining so much about, oh, it's impossible to beat Zerg. Because I'm like, well, no, it's really not. Really bad warp in there on the front, unfortunately. Not what he should have been doing. He's got to repower those gateways. And he's warping in units on the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch this replay together, and we're going to let him talk. We're going to let him kind of solve and point out all the little things that have gone wrong, because there's lots of mistakes to learn from. Like, why are his oracles on the other side of the map? You know, if you don't have a super solid wall, you're not restabilized, then like that's not the right idea, etc., etc. He just hasn't repowered those gateways, etc. Like he's, you know, obviously he's dead now, but the main thing was he just never sent the units to deal with the Overlord. he was really slow to wall off. He didn't have a probe already there next to the wall, so that's something we can write as standard, right? So let's write down a few of these as standard. So let's go like, okay. Reaction, go full trump, keep on walling, and reaction probe on standby next to the wall. Alright, massive improvement that game around. We almost had it. So let's all hop into the replay together, the three of us, and let's do a little bit of analysis. I'm going to crank your mic back up. How'd you feel about that one?
Better. Definitely better.
Yeah. The wall off just makes a big difference, doesn't it? It gives you a lot more time. So we'll hop in the replay, and what I want is for you to analyze, and I'm actually going to make you... Yeah, so I'll control the replay, but yeah. I want you to analyze it and figure out the key things you can do better. And really, this is something you can apply to dying to any cheese. Ooh, sorry, let me turn that double alert off. Got double Gandalf head nod. It's a little bit intense. Thank you so much, Hunter AFI, for the 15 viewer host. Thank you so much, Majestic Boulevard, for that Twitch Prime sub before. All right, so let's talk. First of all, I did remind you to get the faster gas this game. You notice faster warp gate research, and we saw warp gate finish just before your core died. So that's actually like cool to see that so quickly.
Yeah.
I'm like, how rare is that? I give an example of something that actually happens in the game. That was kind of
awesome. It was awesome.
So let's just, I think you did a good job here early. One thing I do notice is you do stare at your probe a little bit, quite a lot. Personally, I am like so focused on my build order, what I do, because I tend to just make little silly mistakes with my opening, especially when you're getting used to the faster gas mining, is I would just queue up that probe and I would be like, just scout and then go like sit at the third or go home, something like that.
Because I completely forget to send it to the third and have to send it all the way back. So that is something that I should.
Just kind of queue it up, yeah. That's a good idea, man. And the thing is, like, if you don't want to, you don't have to necessarily scout for the third, but it definitely does help you give you that info, right? Because like your adept's going straight for the natural, and your probe's like, oh, there's no third down either. You're like, okay, something might be fishy.
Like, usually I'll send the adept towards the third and then shade to the natural
Glory to the
and
daylight.
check the drone count from there, but got a little bit of the work needed, so.
I think this is a little bit safer doing it this way. So if we make this your standard and we're 100% consistent with doing it this way every game, probe sits at the third, or if it's gas pool, maybe hides behind the third or fourth, you know, for that later scout. But generally, probe's always at the third, adept goes straight to the natural, and this gives you that info nice and early. Now this was kind of confusing, right, this time, because you came in and it looked like, oh, that's 8-9 workers on the natural, right? Because he was doing a later push this time. So in this scenario, though, this is the time where the third not being there was kind of important, right? And of course, hanging around to say, let's scout one more time. I know Ling speed's almost done. Do you know what time Ling speed normally finishes off the top of your head?
I think it's 3:30, but I'm not sure.
Yep. I mean, we see in the replay here, it's just before 3:30, so that's fantastic. And, you know, that second shade there is really good. Even if this adept doesn't get home, obviously it's worth confirming what the hell your opponent's up to. One thing you could have done there is check the third base after the first scout as well. The other third base location. You never know if he's just gone for a weird third, so something small. But generally speaking, that was pretty good. So from here, I want you to take the reins, and I want you to just break this down. Just think out loud. I'm not looking for you to have the perfect answers. None of us ever do.
Okay.
Just
Well, I see the all-in coming, so well, you told me also to put the shield battery down, but that is...
Oracle perceiving.
I got work gate on the way. I have my Oracle here. What I like to do with it is just check around, see if he's dropping me, check the third, if he's piling up a bunch of Lings to try and deny my third, but... Sorry, if you don't scout the third, you scout all these Lings early on. See to not turn it on too early, but I think I should have just not even turned it on right here and just like let it bank some energy. I'm not gonna die right away if I have that shield battery in place.
spot on.
I heard a Chrono warp gate right here and get instead of getting these two adepts, and then I could have warped them a little bit faster. Here is where I should start piling onto my wall, and that's something I always forget to do. And then I die before, you know, I die when it's too late.
Now, there's something else you could have used, a special ability we all forget to use sometimes to...
Oh. Yeah, I should have used the shield battery manually on that side of the core and got a shield battery.
Spot on, my man. That's a big one we always forget to do. Yeah, saving that for a little bit longer. I mean, you've got so much damage output going. Would have been great, right? So you mentioned something really big I want to highlight. You mentioned you should have started walling off earlier, but you always forget to. Do you think there's a habit or something you could do to make sure you remember that?
I think I just have to practice. And a big thing about when I play StarCraft is when I panic, my gameplay goes to total shit. So I need to learn how to stay cool and calm during these kind of situations, because I could still hold.
Yep. I mean, it was going perfectly for you until you didn't get this wall up, and even here, you're still fine, actually.
Right.
But you've already pointed out a few really big points, and this is what I've been kind of talking to the stream when I'm muted, and I've been pointing out, because I've been making a lot of fun over the past 2 weeks of the community, because every Protoss player, their grandma, their sister, their mom, their dad, are all like, Zerg so imber, Ling drop is unstoppable, this is just so ridiculous, it's obscene, and I'm like, guys, it is hard, but like, you have a choice. You either look for ways to improve or you cry. Yep.
Yeah, like you really get so good at scouting in the early game because of the way the meta is right now. Because
And it just makes you stronger.
One of the things I'm not very good at.
Exactly, and this is something where it's not just about having the biggest excuse people have whenever they complain about this stuff, and we've all been guilty of it, I know I have. I need to have a perfect response to defend this silly 1A bullshit Zerg. How unfair is that? It's easier to do his strategy than his mine. Okay, let's disregard the fact that there's 1,000 strategies from every side in StarCraft that it's easier to do than it is to defend. If you're trying to play macro versus a guy who wants to make a bunch of units in A move, yeah, there's always going to be harder to defend. But what about the fact that you can make 4,000 mistakes and still be in a good position at this point?
Right.
You're still ahead. If you got your wall back up faster, you're still in a winning position right now in this game. If you
And I have the money to, so...
Exactly. And you've already pointed out, Oracle could have saved more energy, which was massive. Trust me, that's massive. Because if it saves more energy, when you do turn it on, it can just leave its laser beam on. And if they pull their Zerglings away to run out of energy, that buys you time, means extra layers of wall, more adepts, all this stuff. So this is awesome. Now you mentioned your play goes to shit when you're under pressure. Happens to a lot of us. The best thing you can have for this is identify those moments where you fall apart. And what you want to look for is you want to say to yourself, you know what? My play falls apart in this situation. Okay, I need to know exactly what I have to do in that situation. I call it a reaction list. It's basically you write a list of every minute detail you need to do in that scenario so that it's just something you can kind of rehearse and memorize. So it's, bam, identify this situation. And what we're creating is a reaction list right now, right? It's like a set play in response to the situation that we spot, which is the Zerg's not building any drones. He's only on 2 bases, even if he's on 3 bases. No drones, same story, right? He's doing that. This is our response. And there's a lot of details to it. There's a lot of details. But because we've rehearsed it, it suddenly becomes easy. It's like, it's just muscle memory, right? We're like, wall off, get adepts up in the main to cover the drop, Oracle down here, save energy, make more adepts, chrono boost, etc., etc. Let's look for a few more details. I'll point out a few. I think you've already done a splendid job of identifying the big ones. So we talked about this wall off, getting the extra wall off down. I've written here, you should actually remember to wall off with secondary wall. Is something you've kind of talked about. I said, remember in your reaction list, I wrote probe on standby next to the wall. So once you've walled off with the first shield battery, or even the second one, your probe just sits here, waiting. And at this point, already, you can say to yourself, this guy's clearly committing. He's lost about 10, 15 Zerglings attacking. So what would I do is I would wall off. And what would I wall off with? Another Cybercore. Because I know this one's going to die.
I was going to mention is when I watch really good players play and then they're in this situation, they just throw down that extra cyber like around before even it reaches yellow health because they know it's going to fall down.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And those tech units. So...
Yeah, it's really annoying when you have a full wall and then you can't make adepts anymore. You're like, oh, I have to make zealots. God damn it.
Yeah.
Shield battery can heal the core, heal big buildings. That's something which I forgot for the longest time in early days of this patch of 4.0. But yeah, it does make a difference. At this point, there was one little mistake as well here with those adepts. So you just were a little bit frayed little bit frantic. You had me in your ear as well, which is bad, but your adepts were just slightly out of position. And you notice he actually notices and he's like, he's dropping, and look at your adepts have the tiniest aggro range. They're not very smart. They're like, oh, we don't see any trouble over here. So they pulled over after all the Zerglings had unloaded. Where if they were underneath that Overlord, they would have been able to kill it. Other than that, even here after this damage, there was... so you're not warping into the choke point, you notice, with those Zealots. You're warping just kind of haphazardly. So you should always be trying to warp in units in the choke points wherever possible.
That is also something that I have a bad habit of. It's just warping in, like, right in front of their face, and then I lose all my units before I can even use them.
The patented panic warping, something I've used a lot. But yeah, if you were warping in these adepts, that'd be great. And we see here that you keep warping in on the outside of your wall. Obviously, it's partly because you don't have a cyber core. You're going to make more mistakes in this scenario. So this is not the most important analysis. But then you once again warp in out front the wall in a clump, and the Banelings take them down. But I think you identified the key ones here, which is you did the opening defense really good. And then what happened was we turned our oracles on too early, and we didn't get the next layer of wall up early enough. We do that, and the game doesn't get to this chaotic point. It never gets to this point where you're suddenly making all these mistakes, right? So I think this is really good. You've done some great self-analysis. Let's hop into another game, and let's look through it. And this is one of the coolest things we can possibly have is just have someone sit here and agree to cheese with us. And this is one of the big ways, you know, I've improved at StarCraft, and everyone has. And it doesn't matter if you're trying to be a pro gamer or you're just having fun with friends, but it's so nice if you can have someone in your clan or someone from a chat channel or a Discord channel you're in and just go like, guys, I suck versus this. Can someone please do this cheese to me like 5 or 10 games in a row? And you just kind of watch the replay after every 2 or 3 games. You're like, okay, these are the 2 points I got to do. You'll screw it up a bunch of times, and then suddenly you'll kind of be on top of it, and it'll be great. So any version of the Ling Flood all in would be perfect. Thank you so much so far, puppy. You're killing it. Go. All right, we're looking good. All right, man, let's dive into this map. You're doing great. So what are we focusing on? Just put guys on gas, 15 on minerals, 3 on gas. So just queue your probe scout up. Don't stare at it too much. And you can just queue it to kind of scout the natural, scout around the main, go to the third, and then you can just focus on your build. All right, good luck, have fun. So the biggest thing as well, right, guys, is not only am I getting him to focus on, okay, cool, he's learning, he's engaging more, but it's great because I can see, we open up the replay, I didn't really give him many tips, and he immediately was picking up on what he was doing wrong. Just getting him to practice. I fucked up, open replay, I analyze mistakes, write them down, I know what to improve on. This is one of the most fundamental important things, right? Just get people in the improving mindset. You know, too many of us just kind of like queue up games and think that like we're such gods, we're just gonna immediately like learn automatically on our own, right? And you're not always that good, guys. You're not a god. You're not gonna just magically like know what to do. When you watch the shit. Oh my god, I almost closed obs. I dropped my keyboard. It's my second keyboard. Yeah. It was a legendary wall though. Yeah! Void Ray might be better, says Banfu. I mean, if you want. Normally Oracle into Phoenix is totally fine. But if you want to go a Void Ray, you can. It's just, normally you won't have the minerals for it. It's very mineral intensive. It takes a long time to clean up Lings and stuff. If you guys want to do that, you're totally allowed to. Like, if he was like, I really feel like a Void Ray would take the APM strain off me because Oracles need to be microed a bit more, I'd be like, sure thing, dude, go for it. And that would be fine. Speak for yourself. Note to self, not a god. Yeah, try and remember that one. You know, understanding and accepting how bad we are at StarCraft is actually incredibly helpful. Did he... Oh. Shit, I wasn't paying attention at all. Yeah, you're gonna need to fully wall this. So, I forget. Oh. More units. You're doing good so far. So I wasn't paying attention to the scout earlier or anything like that, but he did see such an early pool, so he should have known what was up. So let's pay attention. Looks like he hasn't watched my Kick Daily episode on defending 12 pool.
Glory to the Daemon.
I'm pretty sure he wins this game though. He's definitely in a good spot. Really good spot. Like the underreaction actually worked out really well for him. It kind of depends. I don't know. You know, is this even an underreaction? I think in my video I might have talked about doing it this way, but pulling probes. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways. Alright, so I was about to say, he needs that Stargate down. Does finally get it down. Let's just, I'll just let him intuitively figure out what he's doing from here. Yeah, definitely, if that was like 8 Zerglings, that could have been very dangerous there. Like, I did like his pylon on the outside, that was very cool. I like the prioritization of getting that defense up, but yeah, he's not... Is there... There's an Evo done. Yeah, he's sending another Adept up there. He's like building another layer of wall here, quite hilariously. I would build a Phoenix if I were him, but Oracle's fine. So you want to queue up a Phoenix after that Oracle, and you want to build one more Pylon when you get a chance. You're doing really good there. This Adept is going to kill so many Zerglings, guys. So this Oracle can 100% just turn its laser beam on right now. He hasn't walled off. There's a hole right there. What's he... Okay, I gotta check that he has build grid turned on. The first Adept is still there. It's got 13 kills. He was doing it correctly. He just needed to keep walling in.
Your pylon is under attack.
It's just really funny the mistakes that we all make in these situations.
They're going after your pylon. A classic tactic.
Alright, almost bad luck there. Left the opening in the wall again, unfortunately. Weren't paying attention to that. So I think you're a little bit overcomplicated there with your wall off. I just want to check one small thing. Do you have build grid turned on? If you go into your gameplay options. So was that turned on or?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't hear that first. All right, no worries, man. I think maybe it's just because I had you down low. Sorry. Turned your volume back to where it was. Awesome. All right, let's just toast up again. So right at the start, we did scout a 12 pool. Nice and early. Do you have a set response against that? Felt just a little bit dangerous what went on there.
Usually what I'll do is I probes and get a Nexus and then get the Cyber and Chrono out of Zealot. And then know that I can wall off with room just for the one Zealot with just a Pylon. And it lines up with being able to Chrono out another Zealot or whatever. But what I didn't register is out.
Sorry, you cut out there for a second. Can you repeat that last bit?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get my Nexus. I'll cut probes first and then get the Cyber and Chrono out a Zealot.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough space to put a pylon at the end of that wall, and you'll have just room for the one zealot, but before then, so that is something I...
No, you're cutting out a little bit. Sorry, right at like the exact same point where you're speaking. Your mic's trolling us.
Yeah, a
That's
little
cool.
bit.
I got most of it. So yeah, basically you're getting a zealot in the choke point, and then you're you know, unfortunately only on a big map will you get that zealot out in time, right? If you're going Nexus as well,
Yeah.
and you can't always get a full wall off up with just a pylon. So it's a little bit dicey. If you are in this situation, it's okay to defend without the full wall up, but you should pull a little group of probes to help out with that zealot immediately.
Yeah.
So they should get there, you know, plus the zealot pops out, and together they can fight the zerglings, and you're okay, right? It is the slightly greedier end of things. Now, I wasn't paying attention in that game. I'm not sure if your probe... Did your probe die, or did it just come home after it scouted the early pool?
I just went right back.
Okay. Nice to always hang around, because you want to check if it's like a gas follow-up, if they're expanding, if they're taking a third, all that sort of stuff is nice. But other than that, looking way better. Just a bit too overcomplicated with the wall. Just, you know, your cyber core was falling. You could have healed it with the shield battery for a little bit of extra life. But more importantly, that's like a niche thing. More importantly, just build another cyber core, build a regular set of gateways. You were kind of adding pylons in these awkward positions, whereas try to like stick to like gateways and cores as much as possible, because they just kind of, or even, because they just kind of like big, chunky buildings.
Exactly.
If you can just wall off with like another 2 gateways or something, it's like, it's so clean, right? So obviously sometimes you need pylons, you can plug a gap with the pylon, but just try to keep it as clean as possible. And then you were kind of focusing on the left-hand side, which was completely solid, and you were adding like a 3rd layer of wall there while there was this big open doorway. So just pay a little bit more attention to that. Even if you've got to, you know, hold position a probe or something to buy time, that's fine. Obviously, you know, leaving the 2 adepts in the main the whole time, that's actually okay, because you saw the drop load. You knew at any point he could rotate Lings and unload them there. So I don't think stress over those adepts. I think it's just, if you just kept walling, your adept at the front had 13 kills at that point. She was just going to keep racking them up, right? And then as soon as your Phoenix goes and starts killing the Overlord, those 2 adepts can come back to the front. You know, you've got more adepts that should already be warping in. Everything will come together really nicely. So really good play there. Puppy, unfortunately, is doing this thing which most players do when you ask them to cheese you, where they do a different cheese every single game. Because they...
Well, I suck against all of them.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, it's actually... I'm telling him to do one of the ones we've already encountered before. Because we need consistency, right? We need to get our response down, so it's actually not helpful to your opponent to like do a different cheese every game.
Right.
Unless the practice is you've got to be on your toes in a tournament, you never know what's going to happen, right? It's better, like right now we're just getting the basics down. So I'm just like, okay, can you just do the same thing for us, puppy? do one of the more straightforward ones we've already faced, because we want to actually, we're almost there before withholding it. We just want to, bam, cross it off, get that positive boost, because we want to shut this shit down, and we're so close.
We do.
So rather than dealing with something brand new like the 12 pool, let's shut down one of the more just generic forms here, and then continue with our game plan. So keep it up. I loved your opening last game. You're doing really well. Keep it up. Good luck. Have fun.
All right. Thank you.
Sentries are key. I mean, if you like sentries, you can build sentries, use them. Absolutely. Personally, I don't really like them that much. They don't do much damage. I prefer to defend without it. There's like 1,000 there's 1,000 different ways you can defend, right? It's not like this is the exact perfect way, but this is what we're focusing on, right? And the more important thing in StarCraft and any execution-based game isn't like, oh, if I swap to that, would it be 2% better? It's more about, let's try and find something that is gonna work, even if it's only 80% efficient, but most importantly, let's keep practicing it. Let's be consistent with it, because if we do that, we're going to improve at it, right? Because of that consistency. We're going to get better and better at it. So it's more important that we find something the player's comfortable with, and we improve at that, than we look for something else to improve at. This is something I've talked about a lot in the past, where a lot of players are often looking for things they could do differently strategically to win a game, whereas if they just did their same strategy a little bit better, it would still work. So what those players sometimes end up doing is every time they lose a game, they change up their strategy. They change up the unit composition, or they change the build order, they change the style of play. And that's valid to a point, but if you focus on that too much, you never end up improving your execution. So it's partly like a personal thing with how you prefer to improve, But to some extent, you do need to just look at what you can improve in the basics. And here it's literally just like, just wall off better. And that's like the number one thing. If we can get that down, anything else is icing on top of the cake. So yeah, I'm mentioning a lot of little details here and there. Sentry's totally valid one. Especially if they start making banelings. Oof, sentries are so good if they start making banelings, right? And just generally, if you don't know what's happening, you're in a position where a player keeps trying to all in you, sentries are very nice for holding the wall. But for now, it's like we just really need to get him focused on like, you're doing well, man. You just needed to wall off better, properly. He keeps leaving holes in the wall and that's hurting him. Now notice here, because he's mining gas earlier, he can get warp gate straight away. Almost, right after the Stargate. Should be warp gate. Is he doing it? Is he doing it? Warp gate. Warp gate. Let's get that warp gate, remember? Gotta get that warp gate started. And that second adept, doing good. After you get hammered by a series of different builds, it throws you off your rhythm and can throw you out of your comfort zone a little bit, which is a big part of why I'm a little bit, that's why I was sounding a little bit annoyed at the fact that Puppy's doing things that are so vastly different every game, because I was like, this is really tough to deal with. Like this is hard because it's going to throw Mental Math's rhythm off, and that's potentially going to cause him to make basic mistakes he wouldn't normally make unless he'd just been cheesed 4 games in a row. So send the shade in, go for a scout. He should immediately know. It's not very many drones. I think he's going to shade again to confirm, and this will 100% confirm his suspicions. He just saw Ling's flooding. Is he looking at? He's looking at. Yeah, it's not many drones. Just let it die. Don't focus on it. Let it die. Where's the wall off? Where's the wall off? Where's the wall off? Come on. Sometime today, dude. Shield battery. He did it. I'm letting him do it in his own time, but Jesus, he took a while to do that, to set that up. Depths in the main, Oracle at the front. That should be the format, but he's not doing it. He's already building a cyber core. Why is he building it there? Should have been here. Where's that Oracle? Come on!
Your probes are getting wrecked.
Just a little bit sloppy here. Like he hasn't walled off here. Why is he not walled off here? Why is the Cybercore in this dumb position? No! And he finally turns the Oracle on. That's fine. Like I said, basic mistakes which he wasn't making in the other games. He can still recover from this position, but it's going to be really hard. So... stop building shield batteries. That's not... I don't even know if that's a solid wall. He should be, yeah, so he's building way too many shield batteries. They're like the least important unit. Once again, he didn't wall off there. Oof, 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 oof. Guys, I've had this exact same scenario where I just make a ton of basic mistakes for no reason in this scenario. So, as annoyed as I am, I'm not annoyed at him as a player. I'm annoyed at the fact that sometimes when you die to a few different cheeses, it throws you off your rhythm and you start doing dumb things. I'm just a bit annoyed because I'm like, I want him to win this game right now. I want him to crush this cheese. And it's totally within the realm of possibility. It's just because Puppy's been throwing these things which require different responses at him. And these are all new things which he hasn't memorized or gotten down yet. He's really struggling with it. Now, I'm letting him just get practice in this chaotic situation because it's valuable practice. I'm letting him continue to play because it's valuable to just continue playing in this scenario. He's attacking... He was attacking his own pylon for a second there. But, yeah. So, some parts of this were better. Cybercore was the big thing, which was not good though. And with just a little bit of practice, like, and the Oracle not turning its laser beam on. So, GG's. Alright, GG. Some really good improvements there. 1 or 2 big things which did go a little bit wrong that game, but that's alright. So, like I said, he's kind of... honestly, I think he threw us off a little bit by doing different things every game. So we're going to extend this coaching session by a few minutes because I think we need a little bit of a final solution here. We need a bit of... What's the word? I've been streaming for too long, so apparently words are evading me. We need a little bit of contentment. We need a bit of satisfaction, I think, at the end of all these all-ins. and you were so close to being there.
Yeah.
Off the top of your
I
head,
was.
what do you think was 1 or 2 key things you could improve at?
When first is I couldn't find where my oracle was when everything's going down. That is something that if I had the oracle ready, but I don't think that was super necessary. The others, I just gotta get more units out of my gates.
Sorry, just giving him some instructions. Yeah, I agree. So more units out of the gates. With the wall off there, once again, we did leave a little bit of an opening at some point. So, if we have to break it down to the most basic elements, what are we focusing on? The new build order, you're getting better and better at. It's fantastic. Keep doing that. That's great. Just slight adjustment with the gas. Doing really well. Probe scouting, doing really well. Adept scouting, doing really well. It was one of those ones where it was a little bit more ambiguous there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think definitely just keep building out of the gateways. Keep building out of the... use the Oracle. Your Oracle sat way out front and you forgot about it for a little bit too long. And
Is that so?
yeah, I think you were doing really good for the most part though. So honestly... Like, we were very close there. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Let me get him to do the same variation. So we know what's happening. Still go through your strokes. Scout as you normally would.
Right.
Yeah. And, all right, we got this. We got this. We got this. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
All right.
So we know it's the same sort of situation. Gonna get those adepts inside the wall off. Oh, one last little point is, yeah, you were a little bit addicted to shield batteries. Shield battery is not that important. More important to just focus on your wall. So I love like the first shield battery to block it off. If you want to add another one, that's all well and good. But yeah, just gateways and cores to wall off. Get those nice, thick, beautiful wall offs as good as you can, and keep it up. Good luck, have fun, man. We got it. So focus on your build order, focus on your opening, get those adepts inside the wall. It's all gonna come together. Good luck, have fun. All right, guys, last chance here before we finish off. We need a little bit of a conclusion. Final solution. Fuck my life. Things that come out of my mouth. As soon as I said that, I was like, that's not the words you're looking for. There's gonna be a lot of Nazi jokes in chat. Indeed there are right now. Pig, as always, on point with his descriptive words. I think someone needs to buy me a thesaurus. Subscription to synonyms.com. Something like that. So... okay, so who where are we doing? How are we doing? All right. Final solution. Jesus. I suppose that's true, Eels. Oh my god. So he has been putting on gas a little bit faster than he really should be. You see, notice how he was only on 14 on minerals, 3 on gas. Whatevs. It's okay. It'll do. It'll do. He'll recover. Thank you so much, In Control, for the 499 viewer hoster. Reno, thank you very much for the support, my friend. In Control has been throwing way too many hosts my way recently. Big thanks to Jeff. Can't wait to hang out with the, yeah, he's forgotten his pylon. Uh-oh, we forgot our second pylon. Let's quickly remake this game. Let's try it one more time. Let's hop out. That one's going to throw us off, unfortunately. All right, and this is one of these things, right? this is what I was talking about before, you get thrown off, but it's also just when you play the same build like 8 games in a row, it actually does something to your brain. We're going to have one more attempt here. Just focus on the basics, get the build order down. Let's make sure we do it, and we'll be back in there. And we will dive back into game. For the guys just tuning in on chat, we're just looking at defending Zerg bullshit. I made a video a long time ago about this. We're looking at it one more time. Let's see how we go. Good luck, have fun, my man. You got this. Kick some ass.
Thank you. Whew.
All right, so basically we're looking at Ling floods. Puppy here has been nice enough to do like a billion different variations of Ling flood. Mental math keeps dying, keeps almost holding. A lot of basic mistakes we went through earlier and had him break down a replay, and he pointed out like so many little things he could do better. Right now we're in the phase where we just need a little bit more practice, and that's where he's going to bring it together. That's where he's going to actually fundamentally defend all of the Zerg Ling flood bullshit that's coming his way. Guys, if you have any chat questions, do hop into my channel. If you're in Controls chat, make sure you come over to x5_pig, and we'll be good. We'll be having some fun. We'll be having some fun over here in the chat. I say that, realistically, I'm feeling a bit demotivated. I'm hoping Mental Math has more fortitude than me. His name is Mental Math. I'm hoping he has more mental fortitude, because there's something about watching Protoss die to Ling Flood after Ling Flood, which is starting to eat away at my soul. And I really want to hop in the driver's seat and just fucking murder these Zerglings right now. So hopefully he gets it this time. He's delaying the hatch, which is always nice. This is great. This just kind of messes up his build a little. Is that hatch misplaced? That's is it? No? I don't think you can misplace it in that direction because it'd be too close to the gas, right? Maybe that is correct. I don't know. I feel like this gap here is bigger than normal. Anyway, who knows? Doesn't really matter if you're all-inning, does it? So the big thing here for Mental Math, guys, is remembering to put guys on gas a little bit faster than normal. He's kind of messing it up in that he's doing 14 workers. It should be 15 on minerals, then saturate the gas. We'll see how we go. Either way, this is important because we need to get both a very fast Stargate and Warp Gate and Double Adept as fast as possible. And our first Adept needs to go scout our opponent's mineral line. We're going to see not that many drones there, no third base. We're going to go, oh shit, he's all-inning me. We're going to pull any Adepts inside the wall. We're going to wall off with a shield battery or two. And then we're going to send Adepts into the main if there's a drop. I normally tell him just send the drop in anyway, like the Adepts there. And any other Adepts and Oracles are going to defend the wall. And he's been doing that part fine. What's been happening is he's killed about 30 Zerglings for free, and then he's just messed up his second layer of wall. Like, he'll build like 4 gateways over here, walling this off, and he'll leave just like this wide avenue, and the Lings will just flood in once the core goes down. So this is the main thing we're focusing on trying to get him to fix up here, is fix that. Now notice here, he's focused on getting his Warp Gate research, which is fantastic. He's going to start that right now. He's going to queue up a second Adept. Everything is on point. You're doing really good. This is a perfect build order so far. Keep it up, my man. Giving him words of encouragement because we want to see Zerg lose here. We want Protoss to win. Thank you so much, J-Wrath, for that gifted sub. Haibani Kara. Haibani Kuramori. Welcome into the pigsty for the 3rd month in a row. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate the support. I'm going a little bit loopy, guys, because I've watched far too many Ling all-ins in a row, and my brain is starting to hurt. I can't wait to get back on ladder for a few games after this and kill some people. I was cheesing all morning, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Normally I cheese at the end of the stream, but I cheesed in the morning, so I might just do some like mid-game timing attacks or something, like more macro focused, but not completely macro focused. He sees no third. He sees, oh yeah, looks like a normal thing. He's going for his normal second gateway time. It's a little bit later this game than he normally does it, but he likes to finish that wall. Anytime before 3:30 is fine. And he's already reacting. He's already like, nah, you're all winning. I was about to tell him, you need a second shield battery, dude.
Oracle perceiving.
Keep building Adepts, keep building Pylons. So because that hasn't started to upgrade, he's just going to bring this Oracle over. He does turn the laser beam on. Heal the core. and send those adepts to deal with the drop. So you send 2 adepts into the main. You're doing really good so far. Keep it up. Keep building adepts. Keep building stuff. You're killing it.
Research complete.
Didn't A move that adept. And they sent 1 adept there as well. A move the probes in the main.
They're attacking your base, you know.
Heal the cybercore. Build another cybercore.
Your probes are under attack.
The firstborn shall persevere.
Take a deep breath and keep making adepts. Doing really well. Let's put guys back on minerals in the main. He's got a wall off. Finish the wall. Yep, you've got that adept. Make sure it's on hold position in that gap, because you're about to have an entrance to your base. Keep making adepts. Keep making oracles or void rays. A move the probes in the main. Now, whenever you A move those probes, it's important to tell them to go back to mining.
Hey, your base is under attack, man.
And just keep making warp gates. Keep making adepts. You're doing really good. And start chrono boosting your probes as well. You've done a fantastic job here. This was a beautiful hold.
Glory
And
to
now
the
you just want to
Daemon.
kind of get back on track with kind of probing up, adding tech as you can, and really just making sure, you know, there's no more overlords around your base. Your oracle can go out front and scout the front. Keep making more units. You're just doing really good. Just make sure the oracle scouts out front your base to see if there's any more desperate attacks coming. This is something you always do, guys. You scout for this. Because often they will just go for that. Focus fire! Focus fire! We'll get some of them. That adept's not in position. Those lings can almost... Oh, they can't get past. So walling off here is actually not important. He's got more adepts than there are zerglings. But it's good to see the instincts kicking in. Yes, I helped him out by talking in his ear. But guys, he's just dealt with so many Ling all-ins. He's so traumatized right now. I guarantee you, once he has a night's rest, and his brain can process and absorb all this information, he's going to be able to do a lot of this automatically without me whispering in his ear. So, by God, he's done it! Indeed. Indeed. He's building a Robo. He's building a Twilight. He's got 39 probes versus 20. I don't know if you have the Tastosis voice back, but I do. And I just heard a glorious GG. And it was so fitting there.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that felt great.
Congrats, man. That was awesome. Honestly,
Thank you.
once you have a night's rest and you actually sleep on this is the sort of thing where you're going to, you know, hopefully if you can get another practice partner or maybe even add to friend's puppy. And if you guys can meet up like tomorrow and play a few games, like it's going to feel so much more natural. And you're going to encounter this on ladder as well, right? So you're going to get practice on it no matter what. Fantastic job, Puppy. Still made it hard to hold, man. That shit is stressful.
Yeah.
But with practice, we gonna be chill as a cucumber while we deal with that flood. We are gonna be the floodgate. We are gonna be the like that wall they have along like the Netherlands or whatever, where they're like, well, our country would flood if we don't have this giant wall keeping the ocean out. You're gonna be building that wall. You're gonna go full Trump. The Mexican zerglings are gonna be kept out. I don't know. Whatever stupid memes there are. Honestly, though, what was good that game? You scouted for the Overlord. You said, hey, he's not a Dropper Lord just yet. You kept your adepts at the front. You made more adepts. You walled off really well. You kept making adepts. You kept making pylons. You got your Phoenix out after the Oracle to shoot down the Dropper Lord, which kind of puts a timer on that. Despite that, unfortunately, he did get 8 Lings in the main. So you know what? That would have been a literally like barely a drop of sweat on your forehead if you actually just immediately sent those 2 adepts up to deal with that when you saw that sort of Dropper Lord thing. Unfortunately, you accidentally boxed a probe and an adept and you move commanded them up there. So they tried to move past the Zerglings and both died without killing or doing any damage. And that could have been, you know, a little bit messy, right? But if your adepts went up there a little bit earlier, it's always better. Like I said, for me, my default when I see any Ling Flood is I send 2 adepts into the main. because I know that's where I screw up. That's always what I screw up. So for me, it's
Right.
different for everyone. I'm like, I always send those 2 adepts. And if there's no dropper lord, yeah, I'll try to bring him back to the front. But then I'm like obsessively checking for that dropper lord. And then I put all, because then I don't have to micro it, right? If they're just like where the overlord is, I just right click them on the overlord, those adepts are just going to follow it, right?
Right.
And that means all my APM is on the wall. I'm just like, build more gateways, build more gateways. And even if I've only got one adept throwing its little frisbees at the Zerglings, I'm killing them. The wall's going to buy so much time. And then I've got, okay, now I've got another 2 adepts that are out. Oh, now my warp gate's done. I can warp in another 2 adepts. And suddenly it's like, okay, cool. Whereas once the Lings get in, we really feel that bloody need to multitask, don't we? Running A-moving probes, putting them back on mining, trying to defend the front, adding another layer of wall. Oh, it gets really stressful. But if you shut down the drop, it allows you to focus your attention just on the front. So overall, well done. Great play. Fantastic. I think we've made some fantastic progress today. Add each other to friends. And yeah, that's going to help heaps. Awesome, man. All right, so good first session here. I got to head off. We did go overtime, but that's cool. I think the stream, we all wanted